Hello. I'm wearing my rags. Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting fucking famous for wearing rags. Let it all go down in history, dude. Karma. That's all I have to say. What goes up comes down. Yes, I know it's my birthday. Hold on, let me get the video thing. Hold on. Is that better? I didn't have birthday parties growing up. I never had a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. I've never had a boyfriend on Christmas. I've never had boyfriends. I have spent, because of extraterrestrials, most of my life and my existence on this planet completely alone. I didn't have a lot of friends. I did when I was in high school for about 3 years. Well, I wasn't in high school, I was truant, but that's okay. I overcame all that on my own and educated myself, so I feel better about who I am. But the facts are I was truant at that point in my life. But I still high school age, and I had formed some girlfriends. There was 2 girlfriends I had. They probably remember who I am, but they're afraid to admit it. We would go to dance clubs. We were typical girls, very typical. And I still have very fond memories of them. All right, so anyways, I contacted one of them. I won't say her name just to respect her privacy, because she's probably scared to death that that's me doing this. She knew me from high school. She was always really materialistic, and her dad was a car salesman. I was closer to the other friend in high school than her, because she was kind of shallow and materialistic, and I was really poor in high school. And I think some of that had to do when she started getting ready for college. She kind of dissed me and dropped me as a friend, and it really hurt me. I felt really left alone and abandoned. I think some of that had to do with she would always go to Lake Chelan, and she always had money. Her parents gave her credit cards. I didn't have any of this shit. And she'd go to Noah Stones, and she was very typical of an American teenager, but I was a really poor one. And I had nice friends. They were nice girls. We were typical high school girls. But anyways, to spare her name, no, obviously I'm not speaking of I don't have a lot of fond memories of her, no. But at the time when I was in high school, I really loved her. The feelings I had for her were real. I really loved her as a friend. But I think towards her going to college, everything, typical. Most females in America have everything given to them. Most of them did, yeah. Poverty wasn't in my generation so bad. It got worse here. And I just always saw them as they all had everything given to them. And I was always working in kitchens. But, all right, so I contacted her, I don't know. I think I was definitely living in New York again. But anyways, I contacted her, and she had 2 kids, was already divorced, all that. So, you know what I mean? Who, right. I don't need to say anything, okay? Right. I don't need to say anything. She's still living in Washington State, divorcee with 2 fucking kids from him. He's there? No, he's not there. It's a broken family. I don't need to say anything. At that point, I was just like, you know what? All right. I spent most of my existence completely alone, but you know what? It wasn't in some way so bad. So I'm not sitting here crying because I'm not having a birthday party. Where was I last year? Where was I the year before that? Some of this has been captured on social media. So there should be evidence, but it falls on ears of swine. But there should be evidence of when I say this was my whole life like that. It was. It only got worse when I went after Al-Qaeda, because I got the attention of Al-Qaeda, and they turned the heat to high flame on me. It only got worse. It wasn't ever any different. Yeah, if I would have had like a boyfriend ever allowed for like a year, a relationship, it would have changed my entire life. Or a really good girlfriend, like a lifelong girlfriend, it would have changed the course of my life entirely. But my life was supposed to set and be on the course that it was. It was fate. Everything that happened was supposed to be that way. So By the time I came into public forum, I was a nobody with hardly any paper or electronic or any trail, out of nowhere, hitting Al Qaeda with all this, like, what, Foreign Legion. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Right. So it's all right. But the reason why I'm talking about this, and I was guided to film, not write, because I was in the mood to write. But it was no, film it. So I was thinking I'm gonna make chicken Catchitore, and if you notice that type of pronunciation, mumbling, is from the stress I'm under, and have been under for 3 years. Yeah, they turned the flame up to high on me, and it had an effect. But I'm gonna live through it. Okay. I'm not gonna play the game with 190 million U.S. citizens that this is not happening, because it is. They are throwing rocks through your window, and they're doing all kinds of things out there in the streets, and it is happening. You go ahead and pretend. There'll be a point where you can't, and I won't care. But I was like, after hitting the stuff I put online already, it's so disgusting to me, and PTSD wise, it triggers me. That I had a hard enough time with that, and I came to the opinion that any police that deal with hookers that don't have PTSD issues, just a regular folk, you should only be doing the hookers for like 6 months, and then you need to be off for 6 months, because it's so fucking disgusting, these fucking humans. You can't, it's bad for your mental health. And I've been doing nothing but fucking hookers for 3 years, hitting these fucking disgusting fucking hookers. And it's bad for my mental health. Oh, they're fucking so disgusting. Do I need to fucking declare that? And I have PTSD. I had to run from pimps a couple times in my life. The one black, 2 of them were white. I was 18. So I don't like doing it, dude. It triggered me this morning. I had enough of it after 3 years. I can no longer do your hookers here. You need to get a grip on your hookers here. Your hookers and your pimp men in this country, almost, because they're in the fucking KKK military. So you know what I mean when I say that. It's like the whole package here. Almost got all these other nice countries who are still hanging on to some basic morals and ethics. And like higher education and respect lots of things. They like the arts, they like education. Not everybody has to go to be a doctor, computer whizzes, not everybody. But they respect all fractions of their civilization and their society in their country. There are some countries like that. This country almost got those countries invaded and all their kids and parents killed. They're still trying. Because of the pimps. Because of the hookers here. The love of the money. That's a rap song. It's a good one. Yeah. For me, the little PTSD stuff, there's one thing in living around it, growing up in it, and there's another thing of doing it, and I never did that stuff. I was around it, I had plenty of opportunity. That's the PTSD, and I can no longer keep doing your hookers here, dude. I can no longer. This shit's too fucking much for me, and it would be too much for any cop. Dealing with fucking hookers all the time, like hooker unit. Don't make a unit out of that. They need 6 months to decompress. This shit's so fucking disgusting. You can't take it all the time. I've had enough of your hookers here in the United States, Americans. I've had enough of your false idol worship of whores. I've had enough of your pimp men that leave nice women like me, who you'll find more often overseas. I've had enough of you leaving us civilian women for dead if we speak against your idle whores that you idolize, who are your mothers. I've had enough. I'm overdosed on your hookers here. It's just the most disgusting country, one of them that I have ever seen in my life. What became of the United States? You know that show, 2.5 Men? I like it. I laugh when I watch it, but I am very conscious how evil that show is. The show is evil. It's satanic. It's funny, but Americans took that as literal and they lived it out. 2.5 Men. Just think of the cast members on that. In real life, what happened to a lot of them. And the rap music, same thing. You know, I used to love For the Love of Money, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yes, man. Brother Lynch Hung, but I didn't live it out. And I'm like a lot of other girls from the neighborhoods that aren't so rich that don't live it out. But most of those girls end up meeting really nice guys at some point in their life, and they have some real strong friendships, and their lives take a different. My life, I wasn't allowed that, and that's because of my extraterrestrial stuff that's going on with me. Now, I'll just totally admit, you know, I have no problem with now, because it's obvious, you know. So I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend ever, hardly. Relationships, hard, no. No. Or girlfriend. I used to sit so many times. And my friend Eric would pay my rent a lot too for a few years. On and off. Not just forever. On and off. And I went to college and stuff. So we know what I did. My life is no secret anymore. So I would sit in my apartments. My friend Eric, who disowned me, by the way, for the Russian mob. Yeah, that Eric. That really hurt me, dude. I knew him for how many fucking years? Over 2 decades. Yeah, that's just fucking cold, man. All right, so but I was sitting in these apartments he was paying my rent for quite often. I had jobs too, dude. You could look it up on the IRS. I was in school. Go look it up on all the community college records. Nothing I've said is a lie. But I would sit there and go, why don't you let me have no friends? Jesus, angels, you know, I didn't really know what to call them. Why don't you let me have not even a friend, man? Not anyone. And certainly not no boyfriend. I sat by myself. I went to operas by myself. I did everything by myself. I got so used to it by the time I was like 40. When I was in my late 30s, I was really sad. I was like, this isn't all right, man. It just was not allowed. It was never going to be allowed. And I knew that. I didn't have boyfriends in none of the holidays. Never have, ever in my life. Had a boyfriend for a holiday. Or birthday. Just didn't have birthday parties. No. With who? So, my sibling, I hardly know my sibling. I don't like to say her by her name. I hardly know her. Just like with who, dude? All right? I'm just being real. If there's one person that's going to be real on the planet, I guess it will be me. And I'm glad I'm fine with that. I'm more comfortable being real and honest than maybe the rest of you are. And the stuff I have to be real and honest about, I had to get some therapy for because it was so painful to face it. It was really painful to face that I had to run from pimps at 18. That it was painful beyond description. The stuff that a lot of young women like me go through. You either face it and get some fucking counseling, or you never face it. And you have substance abuse or other fucking issues, man. I didn't want that. I had to face it. And once I did, and I had some counseling for it, it wasn't that big of a deal. But it's painful, and I can't be doing no hookers all the time for the cops. It's triggering me. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to face. Just for example, that you had to run from a couple white pimps when you were 18, or what? Why were you in that situation? What? Right, right, right. And then you turn to God. And when I went to AA, I got more into the God thing because I hated God. I always hated God. But and then I would turn to God and sit in my apartment and go, so okay, I'm facing the fact that I had a rough life and that I had to run from pimps. Not all the time, but one time when I was 18, they were white, but I had to run, and it's scary, all this stuff. Right? I'm working it out in counseling and stuff. And then I turn to God. These are your spiritual moments when you, well, hey, I'm by myself, but so will you. You'll be by yourself when you have them. I'm always by myself, right? I know. All right. And I said, well, why wouldn't you ever let me be around nobody? Because God, if you would have just let me have so pretty and cute and sweet a boyfriend at 18, like so many other fucking 18-year-old girls have, or even a girlfriend, like a lifelong friend, or 5 years, 3 years, like, come on, man, can we budge a little? That would have changed a lot of that stuff. That stuff wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been alone. Because they're predators. They're predators. They look for the girls like that. I was always alone. All right? Thank God I met Eric when I did. He wasn't going to hurt me. And I started getting my GED and getting some stability. He wasn't my boyfriend, no, he was a friend. But thank God I had somebody. It wasn't a very close friend, no. But I had somebody. All right? So look, I've had a lot of counseling to face and be real. And look, I'm comfortable with that. I'm totally okay with that. I'm going to be the one that's real and honest and truthful if none of the rest of you are actually able to do it. And I'm going to keep telling you that we are in World War III. Our adversaries are Al Qaeda and Russia. We're in a white nationalist uprising here. And they want to kill billions of people. This is their objective. All right? And all this world power, money stuff. You with your bigger degrees than mine, go fill the rest in. When you can face the truth. All right? Because that's the truth. That's why I live like I live. That's why, although I've been alone all my life, the heat got turned up to the 10th degree. And I sit alone now in abject and utter poverty. And I'm in danger. Because I wasn't like in danger with CIA types before. No. 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 So after that, this morning, I had a little bit of a triggering moment where I had to just kind of chill and be, excuse me, this house makes my face itch. There's a tree right out there. I had to put myself in the present again because I just can't do all these constant hookers, dude. This shit's fucking horrifying to any woman, and especially a chick that evaded and escaped all that stuff. These motherfuckers, I can hardly take it sometimes. You go deal with your own hookers. I'm done with your fucking hookers here. I'm not calling the cops motherfuckers. I'm just upset. Okay? And I knew about the pools and the tanning salons in my unconscious state. And I was having a cup of coffee. And they told me again, telepathically, they said, tanning. And I said out loud, oh, the tanning, right. And I knew I had to do it, okay? So I'm not mad, because some of this I have to do. So I started hitting all the tanning like I do, and we know that. And it was pools, and then I know, the hookers, and that's what triggered me, was that was the last time, dude, I go around any of these fucking brothels, pimps, these murderous, horrible fucking people, okay? It's the last time. Today was, I can't take anymore, dude. I can't be getting triggered like that. I gotta take care of Heidi, man. It's my fucking birthday. I'm going through this still. It doesn't matter though. I just don't believe birthdays really matter for me. Because if they did, I would have been having some fun in the past. A couple birthday good memories. I don't even know. I can't even remember. I've always just kind of been by myself. Right? I'm not lying. I'm not saying this to get any empathy, which I don't expect I ever would. If I can't get any empathy after everything that's happened in the last 3 years, why would I get any for saying anything that happened in my life? I don't think I will. I'm just saying this to state the facts, to be real. Somebody needs to. But it is my birthday, and I don't want to be getting triggered about hookers on my birthday. But I had to, because my family, my celestial family said, tanning, and it was important. You got to do it now. So there you go, all right? There's your pools and all that stuff. Salons and all that. And then I get showered. And just, who wants to be doing all that when they're having their first cup of coffee anyways? It's time consuming and all the above, all right? But I do it because I kind of have to. And I'm not, obviously at that point, not starting my day off like everybody else wants to pretend their day is normal here. None of your days are normal here. You want to live in denial. I know that. So you think it is, but it's not normal. We're under almost a state of emergency that no one's announcing from Al Qaeda. All right, so then I'm like, let's get dressed. I ate breakfast, and then I'm like, dude, I have to do this stupid. It's like an appointment or some condo. I don't know. And if I knew, I wouldn't say it anyways. Where the general lives, and they moved some fucking Al Qaeda dude in there. And I had to do that, and I am like here for these people. I'm here for Adam Schiff, and I'm here for the general. And they know that. But this is starting to compile at this point. And what I really wanted to do, I put into print. I've been planning on making this chicken Catchitore. But this stuff, for me as a woman, just never gets done. Because I'm always fighting a war for everybody. And it's getting to me, man. This is why I said I am done. I have to be able to walk out of here when you fucking, your denial is broken and your state of emergency is really real. I gotta be able to walk out of here. I can't be sick. What I wanted to do, in a world I kind of remembered, when Eric was paying for some of my apartments, or when I had jobs and I was working, I was working, I was paying for my apartments, whatever it was. It wasn't prostitution. It wasn't that stuff where they have the call, whatever the fuck they try to say about me. No. Or maybe they don't, but they say about girls like that. No. Let me just, for the record, Eric always felt sorry for me. And he said he was like his charity to help me. He's a multimillionaire. And as long as I was bettering myself by trying to get an education, and he kind of saw me as a daughter, that's why it hurt so bad that he dissed me and left me for dead 20 fucking years later. But and I put a lot of stuff that he said online, so people, basically lawyers and cops, know what I mean. I'm not lying about this. He was helping me with my rent like any family member or maybe father would, but he wasn't close like a father. No, not exactly. That's a personal thing that I would tell like a friend in a conversation. We could get more into descriptives about exactly the relationship I had with Eric. In some ways it wasn't the best because he enabled me with my alcoholism. But that was definitely a component to the relationship. He enabled me financially, okay? I didn't keep a lot of my kitchen cook jobs as long as I would have because I knew he would still get my rent. And I outright say it, I knew that. But he would say, get a job, I'd go get a job, and then I'd quit after a couple of months. I knew he was still going to financially help me. And some of the quitting was my chronic alcoholism, which was because of my untreated PTSD. But I don't have anything really bad to say about Eric. He wasn't that bad of a person, and it still makes me want to cry that I just lost everybody in my life because of World War III. I had my mom, in fact, we became closer. I and my mom have a relationship, a beautiful one, years to go. We became closer after what happened in California. That's another pure personal thing. That if someone wanted to have dialogue, they could have more insight to why that is. Here comes helicopters. But the chicken Catchitore, which has become hard for me to even pronounce with the stress I'm under. The helicopters, there's something wicked here. It's going to be done like in the middle of the day. My guidance was do it around 3 or 4. And that makes me so sad that even when Eric was like kind of paying for my apartments and I was going through school and doing my life, as a young woman, I still had a resemblance of normality. This is what I mean by Al Qaeda turned the heat up 10%, 100% on me. I had a level, there's another helicopter, there'll be like 2, 3 that race around. It's fucking wicked here. Just keep your ears plugged. And it's not fucking normal, you motherfuckers. It's a fucking air ground, or whatever you call it, you fucking liars. Anyways, I would be able to wake up, make a frittata, do whatever, right? Okay? Not in World War III. Not in World War III. I wake up and I'm hitting all these hookers again. That's the last time. But stuff like that. And I'm then helping the general, which I would help shift in the general in a New York second. But still, you hear what I'm saying? The actions are going. And at that point, it's compiling. And the poor woman is never getting this Catchitore done. She's not having a coffee and off into the kitchen like I used to be. Or off into school or whatever. But when I wasn't off into school or I wasn't off into my little job, I was off into the kitchen. I'm a fucking chef. That's what I do. So try to identify this and make it into your own little routine you have. If you're not a chef, can you imagine? Do you have the capacity? Are you capable of empathizing? No, I know that. I just say it because it's my place and my job to be honest and be real no matter what you do. So here we are in the afternoon. And my guidance has just started, Mommy. Do the Catchitore. And it was kind of a God thought, but I always knew it, and I've said it before. The chicken Catchitore is like an old, maybe Roman, it's centuries old, Italian dish. It's like a survival food. It's like a superfood entree that tastes so good it's from the gods, right? Yeah. But it fed families, and they literally lived and survived off it. And it was like a God thought, but it was kind of like a train of thoughts. It was like I was supposed to have this epiphany. You are not the first person who has felt despair and their lives were out of control because of politics, and this is what it was, and World War. You are not the first person on earth because of World War I and World War II in Europe who cooked chicken Catchitore in despair at a really crazy time of the day. I'm not the first person on planet Earth to have done that, and I'm doing that today because, again, World War. No, I'm not cooking it like in the morning, cutting the carrots and doing stuff and feeling good and having your coffee and just feeling good. No, you don't feel that way when there's World War. No, and who cares about my birthday? No, so I'm going to do it. We're going to do it with pasta. I would love to do it with a lot of other really neat ideas, but no, it's World War. No, we're going to do it with 2 superfoods that have lasted for centuries, pasta and Catchitore, and I will live and survive another day. I'm up to 30 minutes. I'm glad I was able to be real and honest about all this. I don't know who listens to this. I know it's a lot more than 1 or 2 views. No matter what is clearly exhibited in evidence, they're going to deny this is happening. This is one reason why the United States has to be toppled. It's almost procedure. If you have a mass of civilians that whack-a-mole, you gotta take some drastic measures. All right, it's gonna be our allies, and we're gonna keep our flag, and it's gonna be our territory. And that's all I have to say. God bless America. Say goodbye.